What is up, everybody? On today's Unbiased Hard Take, got a great episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders' performance in his first NFL action. He gets his first start coming up. We're going to talk about Thursday Night Football, where the Texans humiliated the overrated Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts better. We'll explain. And then we're going to predict some more NFL action. So stay tuned for more. What is up, Unbiased Hard Take? On today's episode, I'm just going to jump right on into it because Thursday Night Football was an embarrassment where the Texans defeated the Bills with a final score of 23-19 in a game where the Texans move on to 6-5 and the Bills drop to 7-4. Bills aren't even leading their division. Josh Allen was sacked 8 times, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We got a lot to talk about on that game because Davis Mills actually looked pretty good. He finished the game 16 for 30, 153 yards. On the season, he's actually 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, with a QBR of 83.7. The Texans are 3-0 with Davis Mills, but have a losing record with C.J. Stroud. So do the Texans stay with Davis Mills at this time? Ride the hot hand? That's a good question. Texans move on to a winning record, but they exposed the Bills, and they had really clean uniforms on Thursday Night Football. The Texans did. But on a game where Allen, again, 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, not a very good look. And I've always said this. Josh Allen is easily the most overrated player in the NFL. It's not close. And he seems to get passes that other quarterbacks don't. And I don't understand why. Because let's look at this. Josh Allen can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. We've beaten that dead horse 100 times. Ringless, never even been to a Super Bowl. Daddy Patrick Mahomes beats him every time in the playoffs. The regular season record for Josh Allen compared to his postseason record against Mahomes is not a fluke. That's just plain choke artist. Josh Allen is not a playoff quarterback. He's a regular season quarterback. He's a choke artist. He can't get it done in the playoffs. So let's look at some things here. Jalen Hurts, who is the second best quarterback in the NFL, and he gets all sorts of hate, and I don't understand why, because let's look at some statistics here. Currently with 1,995 passing yards, so he's on pace for 3,391 passing yards. Oh, look, on pace for a 3,000-yard season passing. Currently has 16 passing touchdowns, on pace for 27. That's pretty good, I'd say. Only 1 interception. 1. He's on pace for 2. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at controlling the ball in general. Probably the best quarterback in the NFL at doing it. If you want me to be straight up honest with you, 1 interception at this point is a phenomenal. And then you add the fact that he has 265 rushing yards, on pace for 451. Currently a QBR of 107. Oh, look, that's really, really good. Elite numbers right there. Has 6 rush touchdowns, on pace for 10. Total touchdowns, he has 22. He's on pace for 37 total touchdowns. He's only lost 1 fumble, so he's on pace to lose 2 fumbles. So he's pretty much on pace for 37 touchdowns and around 4 turnovers total, interceptions and fumbles on the season. He has a Super Bowl championship. He's been the Super Bowl MVP, been to the playoffs regularly all the time, every season during the playoffs, and been to 2 Super Bowls, and been a Pro Bowl quarterback in the past. Look at Josh Allen. 2,709 passing yards, on pace for a 4,000-yard passing season. Okay, got Hurts on that one, I'll give you that. 18 pass touchdowns. Oh, look, around the same amount as Jalen Hurts. So he's on pace for 27. Because Josh Allen's played an extra game than Jalen Hurts has. Keep that in mind. So they're on pace for the same amount of pass touchdowns. I didn't think Philadelphia could pass the ball. That's what A.J. Brown says, because he's a diva, overrated receiver anyway. He just doesn't like winning. A.J. Brown cares more about stats, and it's obvious at this point. But that's a different topic for a different day. So Josh Allen has 9 interceptions. Oh, that's significantly more than Jalen Hurts. So he's on pace for 13 interceptions this season. Double digits. Oh, look, Jalen Hurts is only on pace for 2. He has 371 rushing yards, on pace for 573. His QBR is 101.6. Jalen Hurts has a QBR 6 points better than that. 107. Interesting. Allen has 10 rush touchdowns, on pace for 15. has 28 total touchdowns, on pace for 43. 6 more, I'll give you that. But he's lost 2 fumbles, on pace for 3 lost fumbles. On pace for 16 turnovers. Jalen Hurts is on pace for freaking 4. So they're on pace for the same amount of pass touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has a better QBR. I mean, Jalen Hurts has less turnovers, has had the same amount of pass touchdowns, more wins on the regular season currently right now. Because we're in a right now sport, we don't want to just leave where the past is. Right now, the Eagles have a better record. Huh. Oh, look. Josh Allen has an MVP, but not the Super Bowl, a regular season MVP. Jalen Hurts is an MVP too, but his actually matters because it's a Super Bowl MVP. And he beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen craps to bed every time he plays Mahomes. Not even on the same stratosphere as Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen is a far third. Stats show it. Wins show it. Legacy shows it for rings right now. I mean, Jalen Hurts, you don't just accidentally win the Super Bowl MVP. It doesn't work that way. He's second best quarterback in the game. He's the only one who can beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And that's just the truth of it. Stats are similar. Jalen Hurts actually leads Josh Allen right now. And Josh Allen's supposed to be an MVP candidate with double-digit turnovers. Same amount of pass touchdowns right now on pace for as Jalen Hurts. And the worst QBR is Jalen Hurts. But the mainstream media doesn't want to hear you. Doesn't want to talk about that. Absolutely not. For some reason, Josh Allen is the golden boy of the NFL. He truly is. He was given the MVP last year, but didn't truly deserve it. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand how Josh Allen can get all the passes in the world for never getting it done in the playoffs. And all Jalen Hurts does is win, and his receivers cry out and cry and moan and complain about winning because they care more about stats. And it shows. Peyton Manning was... No one classifies Peyton Manning as better than Tom Brady, but Peyton Manning has better stats than Tom Brady. Go look him up. He did for years. But no one thinks that he's better because all that matters is winning. It's no different for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is undisputedly the second best quarterback in the NFL. Stats show it, rings show it, and records this year show it. The Eagles are winning their division. The Bills are a wild card team. They can't even outlast second-year quarterback Drake May and the Patriots for top in their division. But I'm supposed to believe he's the second best quarterback in the NFL? No. It's Jalen Hurts, and it has been for a while. That's just the unbiased truth of it, and you need to hear it. But speaking of quarterbacks, we're going to talk a little bit also about Shedeur Sanders. Because as I've said before, the Browns have set him up to fail. The Browns are going to fail him. I mean, because he finished his first NFL action in relief of Dylan Gabriel, who left the game injured, 4 for 16, 47 yards and interception. Now, he did add a couple rushing yards in there as well, and he does get his first start versus the Raiders this coming week. And actually, reports are that he has never had number 1 reps. He's never had any reps with the number 1s. And that's bad coaching by Kevin Stefanski. Like I said before, it's obvious the Browns don't want him. They haven't wanted him, and they don't want him now. That's just the truth of it. The Browns are unprepared. I'm supposed to believe that the Browns are going to figure quarterback out correctly, and that Shedeur is going to be the magic answer. I don't think Patrick Mahomes would be the answer. They just screwed him up too. A lot of the times it's where you land. Had Tim Couch landed on a more stable organization, I'm sure he'd have been great. But he landed on the freaking Browns. Same with Brady Quinn. List goes on and on and on and on. And the Browns it's not going to be any different for Shedeur. I mean, they've already failed him to a point already. Never gotten first-team reps. Offensive linemen, we're talking about how they haven't even heard his cadence. Because cadence is big for the offensive lineman. You're not watching the quarterback. You're staring at the guy in front of you. So you're relying on that voice to tell you when to snap the ball. That way you don't get false start penalties, things of that nature. So for the offensive line to say they had to adjust to his cadence is concerning. Because you have all minicamp, training camp, rookie OTAs, regular season, practices, all this stuff to do that, and you don't give him any reps at all? That's embarrassing. You drafted this guy with one of your draft picks, and it's obvious you don't even want him. The Browns will continue to do Brown things. I've always said that the FBI is investigating the NBA. They need to investigate the Browns. That's embarrassing. I mean, but I will say this. He gets first-team reps this week. I'm not going to hold last week against Shedeur. 4 for 16, 47 yards. You're not getting the number one reps. Nightcap talked about it a little bit with Chad Ochocinco and Unk. And I think that him getting number one reps this week will help. They'll get that cadence down. They'll get some play calls that he's comfortable with. That way you're not going into a game with plays that are more set for Gabriel. You'll actually have plays set for Shedeur this week. And I think with it being an easier opponent, it's the Raiders. I think this is a really big game for Shedeur. This is his really first test. I'm not going to give last week. This is his first test right now. You're starting your first NFL game. You got reps all week. There's no excuses now. Because you can use the excuses of the cadence and the lack of practice reps and use those excuses to a point that week because he didn't get the starting reps. But now there's no excuses. You've had all the practice reps all the time. Now I'm going to tune into that 4:05 game because I'm excited to see what Shedeur can do. I think that'll be the most watched game in the 4 o'clock window. That's just my opinion. I'm excited to see what Shedeur can do. And he has an opportunity to do it against a weak opponent. It's not like you're going against the Broncos defense. This should be relatively easier. Nothing is easy in the NFL. But I'm excited to see what Shedeur can do. It's finally time for him to get some reps. I mean, we've obviously seen what Dylan Gabriel can do, and he's more of a backup quarterback in my mind. He's more of a game manager. Not going to win it for you, not going to screw it up. Doesn't really have a good arm. He's more of an outside the numbers type of quarterback. Has a hard time throwing a deep ball. So I'm excited what Shedeur can do. We'll see what he does after this week's first team reps. But then we're going to predict some NFL games because the Packers and Minnesota Vikings game is huge. Because the Packers season will be determined on these next 3 games. The NFC North is a tight race right now, and the Packers' next 3 games are Vikings, Lions, Bears. So 4 of the next 5 games in general are division games. So this is where Green Bay's season will do or die. Same with the Bears, same with the Lions. The Packers need to at least get 2 of these 3 wins. 3-0 would be fantastic. But at least 2 out of 3 the Packers need to win here. And I think the Packers will. Josh Jacobs has not been ruled out. They're going to test him, which I'm shocked about, that he's even possibly going to be available. So that's great news. And Minnesota's struggling on offense. I mean, McCarthy has 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, a QBR of 61.7. He's turning the ball over a lot. I think Xavier McKinney, Jeff Hafley, Micah Parsons, and that Rashawn Gary defense at Lambeau will be able to feast. This is J.J. McCarthy's first start at Lambeau. I don't think it'll go well for him. The Packers obviously know that their season will be determined in these next 3 games, and I think the Packers' defense will force some turnovers. Jordan Love's going to be healthy. He's not even on the injury report. Packers' offense will be fine, and I think they'll score enough points to win, be able to outscore a struggling Minnesota offense. Justin Jefferson's frustrated. He was showing frustration on the sideline, and he should be, because McCarthy can't throw the ball. More interceptions and touchdowns, that's just not good enough. So I think Green Bay gets the win here, and then truly a test on Thanksgiving with a quick turnaround. Then moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the LA Rams game. And this is going to be the game, this will be a really good game. I think the Rams win this game. I mean, well, we got to look, however, that the Rams could be Super Bowl contenders. They're playing the best ball in the NFC right now, in my opinion. Matt Stafford's playing MVP-level football right now. And they have wins over Seattle and the 49ers, which are tough opponents these last few weeks. And the Bucs, meanwhile, have 2 losses in a row. And the Panthers are right behind them at 6-5. So they're only half a game up in their division against the Panthers. And people were giving Green Bay crap about losing to the Panthers. But oh look, the Panthers have a better record than the Chiefs. So that's all I'm saying. So I think Tampa Bay's struggling a little bit. Their receiver rooms, there's been a sickness going on. They had a lot of players miss practice on their receiving group. Limited participation due to an illness. Mike Evans isn't there right now. They're a little banged up. I think the Rams get the win here. They're playing really good football, and they're going to take advantage of those Tampa Bay injuries. And I think it's a 3-game losing streak for the Bucs. Then we have the game of the week, because Indianapolis and Kansas City. If Kansas City loses this game, their season's over. It's that simple. And I don't trust Daniel Jones enough yet to go into Arrowhead and get a win against Patrick Mahomes when his back is against the wall. I'm never going to bet against Patrick Mahomes when his back is against the wall. I'm taking the Chiefs to get the win here. No, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, but I do still think the Chiefs will find a way to get in the playoffs as a wild card. Denver's going to win that division, I believe. It's a pretty far away race at this point, especially with Denver beating Kansas City and holding the tiebreaker currently. Again, I think Danny Dimes will turn the ball over. I think he turns back into Danny Dimes that we're used to seeing, and that's a good Chiefs defense still. So they're going to force some turnovers. Patrick Mahomes will score enough points to win. Never bet against Mahomes, especially this time around when his back's against the wall, do or die time. I'm riding with Mahomes. So Chiefs win. Again, that's all I got. What do you think of my predictions down below? What do you think of Shedeur's start coming up? Do you think he'll do well? What do you guys think? Let me know what you think of my take. Is Jalen Hurts the second best quarterback in the NFL? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And again, like us on Facebook. Comment. That is the link to that is in the description down below as well. We appreciate the support from you guys. Me and JB do. That's all I got. Until next time. Boiler up. Let's go Heat and go Pat. Go baby. Let's make the Vikings go home to Minnesota with a loss, baby. Go Pat, go.